Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is a story of what if Naruto mastered Kurama's chakra early. What if Naruto had gained control over Kyuubi's chakra during the month of the training for the finals of the Chunin exams. What if Jiraiya taught Naruto more than summoning watches? Naruto takes the whole world by storm with near unstoppable power and unmatched potential, but the chips are down and it's all or nothing against hidden threats and godlike enemies. Will he survive? Before we start, thank you for all of the support, it really means a lot to me. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a like and check the description for the creator of this great fanfic. So, let us start. Chapter 11. Resets Konoha Hospital, Prisoner Wing. Where am I? Where's Jirobo? Thought Tayuya as she regained consciousness. Oh my. Seems she's awake. That doesn't sound like Kabuto. Or Lord Orochimaru. Thought Tayuya as she tried to open her eyes, only to find she was blindfolded. Not only that, but it seemed she was bound to the bed. Alert Lord Hokage and the Uzumaki brat. The tests came back positive, she's a 75% match. Naruto's home. I understand if you don't believe me. I didn't believe it when my mother told me either. Stated Itachi, still sitting at his position at the table. It's a lot to take in. It's like everything I knew isn't true. All this time. Stated Naruto. His mind trying to absorb all the new information. I'm sorry you had to be told instead of figuring it out on your own. Stated Itachi. But now you know. Pocky is just as good as ramen. It sounds so wrong. But Pocky is just so good. Stated Naruto, his hands in his hair as he slumped over the table. I find it astounding that you accept our blood relation so easily, yet your views on food are incredibly sedimentary. Stated Itachi as he got up and moved to the fridge. Well, there's a pair of scrolls in the basement, both of them mention you. Doesn't take a whole lot to figure it out. Especially after you ended the fight at the Valley of the End. Stated Naruto. Itachi nodded slowly. What will you do now? There's an S-class missing ninja in your home. Well, it is my home, and you are my brother. I think I never saw you. Smiled Naruto. Itachi allowed a faint smile to cross his lips. Thank you. But the next time we meet, we will fight. Kisame nor our leader know that we have blood ties, and it must stay that way. I understand. You may want to get going, there's an Anbu at my door. Stated Naruto with a smile. You're always welcome here, Itachi ni. Itachi nodded and leapt out the window, while Naruto moved to the front door, opening it to find none other than Tenzo. Hey Tenzo-sensei. What's up? Wow, it's daytime. We were talking all night. Now Naruto, I was never really your sensei. More like senpai. Stated Tenzo, his smile hidden by his mask. Whatever you say, wood boy senpai. Am I being summoned? Questioned Naruto. He laughed as Tenzo face vaulted, before sprinting back up. Let's go, and please call me sensei. Hospital. Naruto and Tenzo appeared in the hallway of the prison ward of the hospital. Good, you made it in good time. You'll be a fine Jonin, Naruto. Smiled the third Hokage. Did you get any sleep last night? Hey Gigi, no, I didn't get any sleep. I kept going over what I learned in my fight with the Oto ninja. Stated Naruto, hiding the fact he had spent the night with Itachi. Good, learning from your experiences. Stated Sarutobi with a nod. The young lady you suspected of being an Uzumaki has awoken, but she refuses to do anything but use profanity towards those around her. What of the other one? The censor. Asked Naruto. She is with Ibiki and Inoichi. She hasn't given them any problems. Stated Jiraiya, who left the room that they were all standing outside of. The foul-mouthed one has a lock seal on her memories, she's going to have to willingly tell us what she knows. I'll go get the censor so you can tell them both. I guess that's what I'm here then. Asked Naruto. Because I was the one that beat them. She might open up to me. That's part of it, Gaki. Stated Jiraiya. The rest of it will be to tell you that we will be staying in the village till next week. We are key witnesses in the trial of the Uchiha's defection. There's a trial. I thought that usually he would be sent to jail. Stated Naruto. Usually, that would happen. Stated Sarutobi, who took a drag off of his pipe. However, due to the fact that he is a clan heir, he had a curse mark causing mental damage, and because everyone reports that he fought with you, we must allow the Shinobi Council to decide. I still say to hell with the trial. At the very least he will get attacking a superior officer. Stated Jiraiya. Be that as it may, it's required when it's a clan heir. Naruto, if you would, please go talk with the girl. Stated Sarutobi. Oto Orochimaru sat atop his throne, his mind racing. It was bad enough that his health had begun failing in the hours after his fight with Jiraiya. That was to be expected. Jiraiya was just as strong, if not stronger than him in a straight battle, and this body was old and used. What was troubling him the most was the fact that Minato's brat had made such great strides in such a short amount of time. Unlike his father, who Jiraiya trained for roughly 5 years by the time he was the same age, Naruto had been the dead last of the academy just 8 months ago. Granted, that both Jiraiya and Naruto had held the title, but it was mostly because Jiraiya would skip class to peek on women. The brat genuinely made it to, what he would say was mid-jonin level, in 8 months. It just wasn't natural. Even if he had shadow clones, his mother and father's talent, and the most powerful of the Biju in his stomach, it still doesn't make sense. High Chunin maybe, but not mid-jonin. Mumbled out Orochimaru. Sir. What about a jonin? Asked Kabuto. I've been thinking of the brat. I'd say that he is mid-jonin in skill. Stated Orochimaru before casting a meaningful glance towards Kabuto. What do you think his skill level is? Well, I'd say overall, low jonin. But if I include his power augmentations, mid to high jonin. His speed in on par with Might Guy, along with his strength. Stated Kabuto. Indeed. His kenjutsu is solid as well. His style goes perfectly with his speed and power. To wield a blade of the seven swordsmen is no easy feat. Stated Orochimaru. Unfortunately, we cannot kill him, or my old organization will come after me. It's enough that we've added him to our bingo book, we shouldn't go any farther than that. Actually, make it a point to inform Iwa and Kumo of young Uzumaki. What of young Sasuke? As long as Uzumaki is around, he will be unreachable. Stated Kabuto. Jiraiya always takes his students on training trips. We just wait till they venture from the walls and strike. Stated Orochimaru. However, with no sound for or Kimamaru, we have no means of getting to him. Perhaps it's time to make a new sound for. Questioned Kabuto. Gurren would jump at the bit to be in it. I'm willing to bet there's some curse mark experiments that turned out stable enough. Hospital room. Naruto walked into the hospital room to see the redhead from the sound 4 staring out the window. Is this a bad time? He asked cautiously. The redhead turned to him, seemingly about to shout at whoever entered her room. Then she froze. The person that entered was none other than the man who killed her entire team, along with Suigetsu and Kimamaru. She remained frozen until she started slamming her fists into the wall screaming for help. Not a moment later, the Hokage and Tenzo rushed into the room, 2 doctors following them and Karen behind the doctors. Naruto remained on the other side of the room with Karen, his mind racing. She reacted like that because she saw me. Is she really that afraid of me? Keep him away. Get him away from me before he kills me too. Karen, run. Tayuya shouted, only for the doctor to jab her in the side of the neck. Calm down, miss. I've temporarily partially paralyzed your vocal cords. You can talk, but you can't scream. Now what is the problem? Asked the doctor in a kind tone. Tayuya just pointed at Naruto, fear shining in her eyes. He killed all my teammates and my superiors. Sarutobi took a deep breath, but was beat to the punch by Naruto. Do you know why I didn't kill you? The entire room was taken by surprise by the comment, but Naruto continued. I believe you are part Uzumaki, along with Karen here. Which makes you 2 family. I kept you alive to help our clan thrive again. So you want me as breeding stock? Questioned Tayuya in fear. No way I'm sharing you with anyone else. Stated Karen. I mean, no way I'm being shared like that. What? No. Responded a shocked and disgusted Naruto. You're both free to date and love anyone you want. I just wanted to give you the chance to have a family. Here in Konoha. Tayuya turned to the old man beside her, who she knew to be Hiruzen Sarutobi, the 3rd Hokage. Sarutobi nodded. He speaks the truth. Here in Konoha, we have a law titled the Clan Restoration Act. It allows members of a dying clan to take on anyone, from inside or outside the village, to join the clan. So I give up Orochimaru, and you accept me into your clan. Stated Tayuya, her voice showing her distrust. Same with me. Questioned Karen, who still hadn't moved from Naruto's side. Mostly. You will pledge your allegiance to Konoha, or if you will, to the Uzumaki clan, and you will be placed on probation. Stated Sarutobi. He was going to continue when an Anbu appeared in the room. Hokage-sama. Danzo reports that the proposal you made has been accepted. Stated the Anbu. That voice. Stated Naruto under his breath, but only Karen heard it. Thank you, report to Danzo that I will be there momentarily. Stated Sarutobi. The Anbu nodded and shunshined from the room. Naruto, I must go. You are to get young Tayuya's answer and do what is necessary. Tenzo, if you would. Sarutobi and Tenzo left the room. The doctor, seeing the situation under control, left the room as well. Tayuya continued to stay weary of Naruto. After all, he was the one who killed 5 of Orochimaru's favorite soldiers. Now he was offering her a seemingly peaceful life. Plus with the way Karen was hanging off of him, it was easy to see he was a good person. I accept. What? Questioned Naruto. I accept your proposal. I know you're strong and you seem moral. Plus if I try to go back to Orochimaru I will just be killed anyway. Stated Tayuya. At least this way I will stay with someone I know. Karen meanwhile looked at Naruto with a giddy smile and blush on her face. The decision isn't that hard when thinking about where we came from and I assume that this offer comes with a clan home for us all. You can count me in. Karen stated as she hugged Naruto's arm. Okay, great. Stated Naruto. Let's go talk to Inoichi and get you cleared. Next day, Hokage Tower. Jiraiya sat across from Hiruzen, his eyes trained on the eyes of his teacher and pseudo-father figure, his jaw dropped and hanging. Jiraiya, please close your mouth. Stated Sarutobi with a sly smile on his wrinkled face. You can't be serious. You want him to stay in the village. You want him to become part of a program that was discontinued at the end of the Third Great War. Stated Jiraiya. We had a deal. I was to take Naruto and train him until the predicted date that the Akatsuki would begin to move. He needs to be ready. I understand Jiraiya. But that was before the board was reset. Stated Sarutobi. If it was just Akatsuki, then I would allow the training trip. But now with our alliance with Suna strained, Orochimaru interfering and no doubt targeting Naruto, and the attack on Naruto on our own soil, I cannot allow you to go. Jiraiya stared at Sarutobi for what seemed like hours, obviously running through his mind to think of what he could say to keep the upper hand. The only problem was the more he thought about it, the more it made sense. Let's say I agree to this plan. What exactly will he be doing? Later, Kumo-A sat at his desk, his eyes trained on the man in front of him. Some nondescript chunin from the Cipher Division apparently had urgent news, though I doubted it was urgent enough to interrupt his power nap. I'm waiting, he said condescendingly. He hated it when his naps were interrupted. This scroll just came from an unknown messenger, but it includes an Odo bingo book, and a note to check page 36. The chunin said quickly as he handed the book to his cage. The Raikage took the book from his hand and tried to open it to the referred to page, although his large hands made it difficult. Damn it, why did they make these things so damn small? If I ever find out who page 36 got it. Naruto Uzumaki. Naruto Uzumaki. Allegiance. Konohagakure, MT. Mayubaku. Rank. Special Jonin, Jinchuriki. Classification. A wanted for killing of 5 Odo Jonin, capture of a Jonin and a Genin, and intervention in several Odo operations. When cited, do not engage unless with several Jonin, has experience fighting groups of experienced shinobi. Skills. Speed and strength high Jonin, outstanding wind affinity, proficient in Kenjutsu, current owner and wielder of Kubikiribocho. Ninjutsu mid Jonin, Genjutsu low Jonin, Taijutsu low Jonin. Bio. Taught by Kakashi Hatake and Jiraiya of the Sannin, known as the Savior of Wave, apparently defeated Zabuza Momochi and gained his blade. Won his Chunin exams as a rookie, defeated Ikibi Jinchuriki in Sound Invasion, single-handedly killed all but one of the members of the Sound 4, as well as 2 other Jonin on the same mission. Note. Has fought Orochimaru twice and survived. Stared at the book, his eyes tracing the words again and again. Is this information accurate? I've run it by the Foreign Intelligence Division. They say that the events are accurate, but they have no intel on his skills. Stated the Chunin. Understandable. Search for any information you can on this ninja and bring it to me. Next morning, Naruto sat at his table, Eating a third bowl of chicken and vegetable ramen. Across from him sat an empty chair, the place Itachi had sat not even a day ago. All things considered, the last few days had gone well. He tested himself versus several strong opponents, he found 2 surviving members of his clan, and meet his half-brother, who himself was an S-class ninja just like his own parents. Naruto was pulled out of his musings when a bird began pecking at his window. Noticing it was a messenger bird, he opened the window, pulled the scroll off of the bird's leg and let the bird go, but not before the bird pecked at his hand and flew away. "Little ass bird," mumbled Naruto as he unrolled the scroll and read it. "So the trial is today. Kiri, we are in danger of losing this war, and she went to go get help from Konoha?" questioned a short man. The woman he was talking about, Mai Terumi, the leader of the bloodline forces, had left 3 days ago to request help from the strongest village in the world, along with Ao, her second in command. If she believes it's the best thing to do, then we should trust her. She's gotten us this far, stated a taller man, his headband covering his right eye. You're a fool, best thing that could happen is if they kill her, state the short man, only to have a kunai stabbed into the top of his head. Insubordination will not be tolerated. Courtroom. Konoha Naruto arrived at the courtroom roughly 15 minutes later, fully dressed in his battle attire. Looking around the room, he saw several high-ranking Jonin, a few Chunin, including Shikamaru, and all the genin that had been on the mission to retrieve Sasuke. Naruto looked at the podium, currently empty as the council had yet to show up. He eyed Kakashi sitting next to Asuma in the witness pen, making eye contact. Kakashi and Asuma motioned him over. With nothing else to do, he made his way over. "When did you all get back?" questioned Naruto as sat next to his former sensei. "Last night. Thank you for stopping Sasuke from leaving," stated Kakashi quickly. "And I'd like to talk to you about some training after the trail. I was assigned a mission and I completed it. In truth, I'd have rather let him go. He's a spoiled brat that needs to have his ego checked," stated Naruto. "I hear you can use wind manipulation. I could use a training partner too," stated Asuma. "I'll see what I can do, but me and Jiraiya are supposed to be leaving next week," stated Naruto. "All arise for the council," stated the bailiff, who turned out to be Genma. Sarutobi, Danzo, Homura, and Koharu entered the upper level of the podium, while the Anbu Commander Dragon, Jonin Commander Shikaku Nara and Jiraiya sat in the lower podium. As the rest of the council sat down, Sarutobi stood tall. "This trail is now called to order. Would each member of the council state their name and position?" Homura Mitokado, Advisor of Economic Affairs. Koharu Udatane, Advisor of Civilian Affairs. Danzo Shimura, Advisor of Shinobi Affairs. Dragon, Anbu Commander. Shikaku Nara, Jonin Commander. Jiraiya of the Sanin, Head of Intelligence Division. Hiruzen Sarutobi, Sandaime Hokage. This court is now in session. This is the trial to decide the fate of the accused deserter, Sasuke Uchiha. This is a military-only hearing, so everything said here is not to be leaked to the public under penalty of death. Witnesses will come to the stand, present their testimony, answer questions and the verdict will be decided based on this alone. Any defense the accused may have had no longer applies due to the treasonous nature of this trial. We will now have a listing of the crimes that were committed," stated Sarutobi as he sat down. The counts are as follows. 1 count of desertion, 2 counts of attacking a superior officer, and 1 count of disobeying direct orders. Jiraiya, as you are the member of this council with the most knowledge of this case, would you please start? Jiraiya leaned back and stood tall. 2 days ago, myself and my apprentice, Special Jonin Naruto Uzumaki were training at the Valley of the End when we received a report that Sasuke Uchiha had been reported missing. By the time they arrived at our location, he was sealed in a barrel, being moved by a group of sound shinobi. After my apprentice defeated the shinobi moving the barrel, a reinforcement made himself known, and attempted to regain possession of the crate. During the struggle, Sasuke Uchiha broke free of the barrel and attacked Naruto, resulting in the Uchiha's defeat, and subsequent capture by the reinforcements sent to us. Thank you Jiraiya. You may sit, stated Sarutobi. We will now hear the testimony of Kakashi Hatake, the accused's Jonin sensei. Kakashi made his way to the witness box and sat down. During the Chunin exams, my team, including Sasuke Uchiha, was unfortunate enough to run into Orochimaru. The result of this run-in was Sasuke being marked by Orochimaru's cursed seal, which I sealed with a twin evil suppression seal as a temporary measure. After the finals of the Chunin, Sasuke became more withdrawn publicly as a result of his loss and injury to Gaara of the Desert, and I made plans to have the seal reinforced due to the fact that he could have been hiding his feelings, but he left the village before that. Thank you, Kakashi. Any questions, counsel? I have one. Stated Danzo. Had you noticed any questionable behavior before the cursed seal was applied? Sasuke has had an Avenger complex as long as I've known him, but other than a few statements and wanting to get stronger, it never affected his performance and had very rarely affected teamwork. Stated Kakashi. Alright. Any other questions? Questioned Sarutobi. Seeing no one raised their hand, he continued. What do you believe is a proper punishment? Kakashi pondered for a moment. I know I am biased because I am his sensei, but I believe he should have the curse mark completely sealed and put on probation for 6 months, or until he shows change. Okay, Kakashi, thank you. Next witness, Shikamaru Nara, Chunin. Shikamaru made his way to the stand, walking much straighter than usual as he moved to sit down. Myself and Chunin Shino Aburame were charged to lead a team to retrieve Sasuke Uchiha. Under our command were Genins Kiba Inuzuka, Neji Hyuga, Choji Akamichi, and Ino Yamanaka. The squad caught up to the target at the Valley of the End. When we got there, Sasuke Uchiha was still in the barrel, and Naruto was engaging an enemy swordsman. The young Nara paused for a yawn, which no one seemed surprised by, and continued. Sasuke later broke out of the barrel, threatened, and then challenged Naruto, was subsequently defeated and we captured him. Was Uchiha at any point in control? Questions Homura. Not that I was aware of. He fought like a beast most of the time. Stated Shikamaru. Very well. And your punishment? From what I've seen, the curse seal runs on chakra. Seal his chakra, remove the seal and put him on probation. Stated Shikamaru lazily. Any other questions? Good. Stated Sarutobi. You may sit down now, Shikamaru. As Shikamaru quickly moved back to his seat, he noticed Naruto fidgeting in his seat. Would Naruto Uzumaki, Genin teammate of the accused, and the ninja who defeated him, please come to the stand? Stated Sarutobi. Naruto slowly made his way forward. Murmurs behind him didn't help his anxiety towards the situation. Last time he was in this room he only 6 years old. He took a deep breath to calm his nerves and sat down. Just like Jiraiya stated, we were camped at the Valley of the End when we were contacted on Sasuke's defection. I cut off the group that had escorted Sasuke out of the village and killed all but one, who is currently in Konoha's prison. After I killed them, backup arrived and during that battle, Sasuke escaped the barrel. I defeated Sasuke, killed the reinforcement and had Shikamaru and his team retrieve Sasuke while Jiraiya and myself dealt with the remaining threat. Stated Naruto. What was the other threat? Questioned Dragon. Orochimaru and his second in charge, Kabuto Yakushi, plus another shinobi under Orochimaru. The room gasped at the news, whether for that fact that Orochimaru was there himself, or that Naruto fought him, Naruto didn't know. What was the result of that altercation? Questioned Danzo. Like you don't know. Thought Naruto. I killed the third ninja and almost killed Kabuto, but Orochimaru intervened. Then Jiraiya almost killed Orochimaru, but he was stopped as well. Jiraiya, who possibly could stop you? Asked Kaharu. Jiraiya turned to her and said, we're getting off track. I'll tell you all later, and sensei already knows. Are there any more questions for Naruto? No. Alright, Naruto, your punishment. Asked Sarutobi. Naruto turned to Sarutobi and smiled. Not his usually cheery smile. It was his prankster smile. Reassignment. From Team 7 under Kakashi Hatake, to Danzo Shimura for emotional and behavioral training. The room went dead as everyone either stared at Danzo or Naruto. How did you come to this, might I ask? Questioned Danzo, his face neural but his body rigid. I cannot afford Itachi coming after me. As a special Jonin, I have access to the Jonin section of the library. In it I found a book on the Third Great Shinobi War. It spoke of how our side benefited from black ops performed by our Anbu, specifically, those trained by Udanzo. Trained in the ability to completely mask emotions and to never break under interrogation. Stated Naruto. If you can train Anbu to do that, it should be no problem to get Sasuke's emotions under control, which in turn should render all potential problems with the curse seal inert. Danzo and Sarutobi shared a look, one they had shared before. If they did this, they had to worry about Itachi coming back with questions about why Sasuke was placed under Danzo's command. But if they didn't, Sasuke would become a nightmare situation that even Itachi wouldn't want. That will be all Naruto. The council will now decide the fate of Sasuke Uchiha. Genma, please bring in Sasuke Uchiha for his verdict. I was sitting at his desk, a short old man sat, filling out paperwork. This man was the third Tsuchikage, Onoki of the twin scales. Grandpa. Onoki sat up in his chair and looked to see his granddaughter, a newly promoted Chunin, holding a scroll and a small piece of paper. What do you need, Kuretsuchi? I'm busy. Namikaze had a son, shouted Kuretsuchi. I know this. And just like I told the council, there will be no ill will towards that boy for what his father did. You of all people should understand that. Now go back to work, you have an important position to fill. Courtroom, Konoha Sasuke now sat in the defendant booth, hunched over, and gripping his shoulder. At the front of the room sat the council, Sasuke having returned from the Anbu Maximum Security Confinement Center. The room, full of murmurs and whispers, fell silent as Sarutobi stood. Sasuke Uchiha has been found guilty of the crime of desertion. He has also been found guilty of both counts of attacking a superior officer and the final count of disobeying a direct order. However, due to his curse mark clouding his mind, we must treat this as if it was unwilling act. Sasuke Uchiha had performed Shinobi of Konoha with some difficulty prior to his receiving the curse seal in his Chunin exam, but nothing that shows such blatant violations after this point in time. This shows that some degree of mental degradation and/or manipulation took place after this point. Therefore he shall not be put to death or have life imprisonment despite these being the normal punishments for the crime of desertion. His punishment will be, let me have it, I deserve it. Thanks for listening. I hope you guys liked it. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a like for more what ifs and support the author. See you guys in the next video.